Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Cold. I am about to drink this lavender chamomile. However, I had the pleasure and the honor of being on the Booch News podcast. Yes, your boy is like going places. So I will drink this, but in the meanwhile, go listen to this podcast, or it's gonna be somewhere. Go listen to this podcast, and yeah, okay, bye.
This is Booch News with Ian Griffin, a podcast all about kombucha.
Hey, there we go.
Awesome.
So, Eric, this is Eric Brown, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've got your video up here on YouTube. I just discovered that after looking at, I guess I kind of backed into it. I looked at the Instagram first, which seems to be little clips from the main YouTube.
Is it? Yeah, is it 1, 2, or is it 3?
It says Cold Kombucha Episode 1, Kombucha Taste Review.
Yes.
Is that?
That's the first one I made.
Do you have other ones?
Yeah, so I have a second one where I drink pure white vinegar, and I drink pure apple cider vinegar as like a baseline, and that's the second one. I didn't really push that one out as much because it was, Reveille's playing. But I use that as a baseline because I just wanted something to refer to, and then I thought of what's another good baseline. So I thought of GT's Synergy Original Kombucha, just regular raw kombucha. If you could just wait a second, I live on base right now, and the national anthem's playing. It's in the background. I don't know if you can hear it.
I can hear it faintly. Yeah, you're in the Air Force, is that right? In Colorado?
Yes, sir. No, I'm stationed at Mountain Home Air Force Base, Idaho, right now, and you can hear. I opened my window. It's really loud. I'm going to close my door, or my window, excuse me. But yeah, I am full-time active duty military. I've been in almost 2 years. I'll be 2 years in February, in the middle of February. And it's taken me a lot of places, and I've been to a lot of places just personally as well. And it's been quite the adventure.
Sounds exciting, and you're still in your early 20s, right? I mean, you're a young guy.
Oh yeah, I'm 20. I just turned 20 last year in September, and I turned 21 in September of this year. So
I wanted to start by asking you. I mean, you did mention, I think, a little bit in the video that your dad used to drink kombucha, but you didn't particularly like it when you were only 8 or 10 years old, and then you started drinking it. Yeah, but I mean, I'm most interested in knowing. You obviously say you got a lot of energy. Why did you sort of focus in on really promoting, I guess what you could call it, kombucha reviews of the tastes? And really, how did that come about?
You just hit a lot of points, and there's a lot for me to talk about. Just for some context, with all the kombucha I had, I was at Whole Foods, and just for some context, I was shopping my kombucha at Albertsons because there was a thing where if you buy like 6, you get like 10% off. And so I was just buying my kombucha from Albertsons for a while, and then I went to Whole Foods, and they had a much larger selection, and they had like 25% off because I was a Prime member, and I just kind of went crazy. I was like, I haven't tried this one, I haven't tried that one. I didn't know there were so many different kinds of kombucha, and I just kind of went crazy, and I spent like a little over $100 on kombucha alone, and I just recently bought like literal 3 boxes of GT's kombucha. And now people are starting to send me kombucha, so now I don't have to buy any, which is pretty awesome. But I guess the problem is that I don't have any more room in my fridge because it's literally full of kombucha I have yet to drink and film. But that's now. Some background is that my dad would drink it every so often. I asked him about it. Every time we would go to Whole Foods, this was back when I lived in Southern California, he would buy it whenever we were at like a grocery store or like a health food store or like a gas station. He would see it like on the shelf or in that end aisle, and he would just drink it every so often. He told me it was like one of the best things you could do for your body, and I smelled that. I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna do some things to your body. And I just kind of knew about kombucha. I knew what it was. At the time, I was much younger, like 10, 12. My taste buds haven't matured as much as they are now, and I am working on my palate to mature my taste buds even more. But at the time, like, I smelled kombucha and I took like a sip and it was like the most pungent, most acidic thing ever. I was like, whoa. I remember saying, like, I will never drink that kind of stuff again. Here I am today. But so I wanted to be healthier, especially after high school. I decided, like, I don't want to go to college because I don't want to be stuck in one place. I'm kind of a nomad. I've moved over 30 times in my life. I was in a foster care and I got adopted. And so when I say my dad, I mean I talk about my adopted dad. But I moved a lot and I was a bit of a nomad. And I was like, I've never stayed in more than one place for more than like 2 years, like my whole life. And so like something like college for like 4 years is like I can't do that. So I thought, like, how can I get college for free? How can I travel? How can I get real life experience? How can I get, like, benefits, get a steady pay, get health insurance and all that? So I thought, well, military is a really good option. So I decided to join the military, and I wanted to be healthier. I wasn't as healthy. I was not really healthy as much. I was the kind of kid that ate a lot of fast food, didn't really work out, wasn't very active, played a lot of video games, that kind of person. There's nothing wrong with that, but I was just saying, like, I just wanted to be healthier. I wanted to be more fit. So at the time, I was working at Target, and I was like, there's kombucha. I guess I'll try it. You know, it's been like 8 years. I was about 18. And I just tried it. I was like, not that bad. So I just kept drinking it on and off. And then I joined the military in February of 2019, and I was just on a different life path. You know, I spent some time in Texas, moved to Mississippi for some training, went home to Nebraska for a bit. As you're going to hear me say a lot of states in the future. And then I got stationed in Idaho, and I was in Idaho for a bit, went to Arizona for some more training with my job, came back up, and I just really, really wanted to take my health to the next level. So I was looking up something about high-frequency foods, high-vibrational foods. I was also researching a little bit of Nikola Tesla, and I was researching some things in, like, the spiritual sense of things. And I can get more into that later. I mostly drink kombucha just because I wanted a replacement for soda. I drink a lot of Coke. I drink a lot of Sprite. I drink a lot of strawberry Fanta, and I just, like, knew it wasn't good for you. And now, like, I couldn't drink any of that just because the high fructose corn syrup in it and the artificial carbonation. It's also, like, just an intense amount of sugar. Like, my stomach can't handle that anymore. But now, I absolutely love kombucha.
So just to confirm here, so it's really been since you decided to improve your own health, especially since you signed on in the beginning of 2019. And so, I mean, you spent $100. You've got these 20 or so bottles and a case or two. Obviously, you need to keep it refrigerated, so there's a limitation there. Do you find? I mean, how about your fellow? What do you call each other in the Air Force? Not your fellow military colleagues. Do they relate to it? Are you considered a complete oddball because you're always drinking kombucha versus?
I'm working on being my authentic self, and like something like kombucha, I just do my own thing, and people like, like you do your own thing. I think people have their own unique quirks, and so I've gotten a few people at work on kombucha. As a matter
that's what I was going to ask. So are you spreading the word? You're able to?
Oh, absolutely.
That's great. Yeah.
Because there was this one colleague I had of mine. And he was, like, kind of trash talking. He was like, it smells terrible. It tastes terrible. I'm like, finish your first bottle and then, like, wait a couple days and your stomach's going to be like, oh, I want more of that. Because your stomach's going to realize, oh, I'm getting all these probiotics. And now he drinks it almost daily. He's like, you did this to me, bro. I'm like, it's so good for you. And, like, other people are starting to drink it too. And, like, I think it's just because I'm so passionate about it and I just have so much energy with it. I've always had energy, but I mean, like, me talking about kombucha and me being so passionate about it inspired other people to want to try it as well. And I think that's just super awesome how not just me, but someone could be so passionate about something that it could improve someone else's life.
Yeah, no, I think it's great to hear you say that because I think that is how many, many people come across kombucha. It's not one of those things that you pick up, and often people do it's called the kombucha face, right? You try your first sip and you go, oh. But I always say to people, well, a lot of people had their first sip of beer maybe when, they were early teens before they really legally allowed to drink. They probably had a sip, and they probably didn't like the taste of beer, whiskey, wine. But, then as you mature, of course, your taste buds, like you said, change. But so Eric, what's the sort of focus here? You've got this great video channel. It's called Cold. I should spell it because some of the people might just listen to this podcast. It's KOLD, for cold with a K, kombucha, which is good. A lot of things with kombucha spelled with a K. Cold kombucha on YouTube. You can find you on Instagram. And what's your goal here? What do you hope to sort of achieve with these videos?
So I get a lot of my inspiration from an individual named Gary Vaynerchuk, and he was talking about following your passion, and you just keep going with it, and some people are going to catch on, and about a month ago is when I really started kicking things off, and here I am talking with you on a podcast about kombucha, and I never thought this would happen. So
yeah. That's what I did with Booch.
I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say that's what I did with the Booch News website, which I started. I'm the other end of the age range from you. I started it when I retired, not when I started work. And I applaud you because I'm sure you've got a lot of other things keeping you busy in your life. But yeah, I mean, I think what you'll find and what I'm finding is that these connections between people. And you're definitely, a very young but very involved person who's passionate about this drink. And in a minute, I want to ask you about your trip to Oregon to Bend and kombucha. But this is an industry, just so you know. I mean, on the website Booch News, if you go to the top corner, you'll see a thing said Worldwide Directory that I put together, and there's over 700 different different brands of kombucha in the U.S.
Wow.
and over 1,700 worldwide. So if the Air Force ever takes you off to Europe or somewhere like that, you can probably find kombucha there. It might be not as prevalent as it is at Target here, but so you went off on a road trip to Oregon and you saw the tap room, I guess you'd call it, the brewery where Hum Kombucha. What happened when you arrived there?
So I actually found it on accident. So I planned a road trip to Bend, Oregon, because initially I wanted to surf the Oregon coast. In 2020, it's something I wanted to do back in August, and then I just never made time or never planned it, and I kept pushing back. It was September, and then it was October, and then the first week of November is when I did it. It was I remember it was the day after Halloween I left. But I just had to go to Oregon. I just felt almost like a calling to go surf the coast there. And then also I need a little bit of a break. I need a mental health break. I just need to get away from work. I need to get away from Idaho. I just need to see the coast, or I just need to reconnect with nature. I just needed a retreat. And so I thought, let's go to Oregon. So I went through Bend, Oregon, because I have a river wave there. I was really into river wave surfing in Boise, and it's too cold now, but when it warms up, I'll get back into it. But and I passed through, and I spent a whole day in Bend. I was river surfing, and I was just hiking around, and I was looking for a place to eat. I was I wonder if there's a kombucha place. So I just typed in kombucha, and then one of the results, the top result was the Hum Kombucha Draft House, or the tap room. I was oh, I didn't know that. And so I was drinking Hum Kombucha. As a matter of fact, before I left on my trip, I had a literal trunk full of kombucha because I went to Albertsons, and I bought a lot of kombucha for my road trip. And so I went to the Hum Kombucha tap room, and it was just the coolest day ever. If you have a chance to go, definitely go. Bend, Oregon is an amazing place as well. There's so many awesome restaurants, and it's just got a really cool vibe. I love the white and yellow playfulness in there, and just the scenery inside. The draft house itself is cool, and the lady that worked there, she was super nice and helpful. And so I was how much is it for a flight? And it was only $5. I'm $5 to try 5 different flavors. I was I'll do that. And then what happened is I went outside, and there's 3 picnic tables, and it was just a beautiful sunny day. It was like mid-70s in November. It was just amazing. And so I was in a really good mood because I had kombucha, and it was a beautiful day. And I was just taking photos for my Instagram just because I love taking photos, and I wanted some photos to remember. And I took my tripod out, I had my drone out and everything. And the lady, I was returning my little wood board for the flight, and she was like, "Hey, those are some really good photos you take. I want to see them." And so I showed them to her, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, that is so awesome." And so she said, "Would you send them over to us?" I'm like, "Heck yeah, I would love to send them to you guys." And then she surprised me with a whole, I think it was 2 cases of 8 boxes of the Hum Zero kombucha. And so it was the best problem to have because I had a trunk full of kombucha, and then I had more kombucha, but I also had my 2 surfboards and other things in my car. So I was drinking 3 kombuchas a day just to get rid of it. But it was such an amazing experience, and it made me want to get more into the kombucha world. And in my mind, I was thinking, maybe I should do some sort of show where I drink kombucha, or I don't know. And then I started cold kombucha because I was on YouTube. I searched up kombucha review show, and I scrolled down, and I thought, no one is doing this. Oh, wow. So I found something in a really niche area that no one was doing, and I saw an avenue of growth, and I decided to take it, and here I am, and here we are. So
yeah. What's the one thing you'd want to leave people with in terms of, what you think about kombucha and why you're doing your cold kombucha initiative?
If it's kombucha, or if it's beer or wine, or if you like raspberry jam, or if you like hip hop from 1984 to 1988, no matter how crazy your little niche is, some people are going to like it and some people are going to tune in, and just do what you love. And I would say passion over money, because for me, I work and I know how much I get paid, and for me, I have that security. So I'm very blessed and lucky to have that. So in my free time, I'm able to do something like cold kombucha and work on my photography business and work on photography and content creation. And so for me, I've just been working on that. And I'd say if you want to know what you love, or if you want to know what you like doing, this is what Gary Vaynerchuk also said. I want to credit him. You have to try different things. So for me, I never thought I would like kombucha until I tried it. And so if you've been eating only pizza and hot dogs your whole life, how do you know if you like pad thai or sushi, or how do you know if you like beignets, or how do you know if you like lobster or tortillas? You just got to try different things, and you never know what you might like. So that's what I have to say.
Yeah. Thanks, Eric. Well, that's great to talk with you.
Thanks for listening to Booch News. For more about kombucha, please visit boochnews.com.